it to Love Island kisses. You know, Love Island kisses can look disgusting.
Oh, God.
And I'm sure it feels great.
They need our lessons.
Yeah. We'll go into the villa and be like, guys, here you go.
Gives me great pleasure to welcome Penelope and Colin, a.k.a. Nicola and Luke. Coughlan and Luke Newton in the studio with us this morning. Guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's been much binge watching, I would imagine.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm presuming like the hardcore Bridgerton fans, which you will be very familiar with,
Yes.
would have stayed, because it landed at 3 a.m. Is that right? That's how it works. I think
Wow,
it came
I don't
on.
know.
I know, it's the same time all over the world,
That's
so
it.
it's really confusing. But I would say
Yeah.
like the two of the biggest binge watchers are our mums.
Yeah, that's true.
I showed my mum and my sister are obsessed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like they kind of forget I'm in it, obsessed.
Yeah.
And I showed them 1 to 4, and they were begging me for 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
I know for a fact that there have been Bridgerton parties happening that were kicking off at 3 a.m.
Wow.
So people would then watch
It's like
the
Christmas.
last 4 episodes.
it.
I mean, it's insane. It started in lockdown, right? We all got obsessed with it in lockdown. And something like 45 million people watched it that first weekend it came out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. Your
insane.
lives overnight must have gone completely bonkers.
Yeah.
It did, but we were locked in our houses, so it didn't feel much
Yeah.
different.
Yes,
Yeah.
I suppose
True,
it.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
millions
So
of
where's
people
the
are
weirdest place you got recognised then?
watching.
I mean-
always in toilets.
Yeah.
You're washing your hands. You're like, are you lady with I am. I've just peed. How are
Yes,
you?
yeah.
All
And
the
it's
time.
always in airports. And recently, because
Always
we've been
in
traveling
airports.
so much, like in airports, and when you've done like a 15-hour flight and you look
You don't
your
wanna do it.
worst,
Yeah.
it's like, it's really lovely to meet fans, isn't it? But
But when
photos of
you're
that
like
hour-
sweaty and you really want to brush your teeth and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is not going to be my best
Yeah,
picture.
You got to up your plane game.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously. I need to do it like Posh Spice.
So I feel like we can talk about season 3, part 1. So I feel like we can
Absolutely.
talk
Okay.
about
Yeah.
the first episodes 1 through to 5. There is a scene we'll just call it the carriage scene.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We can call a spade a spade.
Let's talk about the carriage scene.
I'm feeling slightly uncomfortable seeing the two of you having that. I can't take that image out of my mind.
That's all right.
And the two of you together, was that awkward in any way? Or
Yeah,
was
because you've
that-
known each other
Yeah.
For years, yeah.
for years.
Wasn't awkward, was it?
No,
we
it
just
wasn't, actually.
Even end of episode 2, is it? They have their first kiss.
I was almost more nervous for the first kiss.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
Was it?
Yeah, so we got to practice it before we filmed it, which was great because it takes the pressure off.
Right.
But I went
What,
back
did you do that in private?
Yes, we had an intimacy coordinator with us, so we did
Yeah.
it in my trailer.
Yeah, she was like,
Because
we
there's
just need to
even
do
things
this.
like,
Yeah.
where do you put your hand?
Yeah,
Where
well,
do
it's
you
all
even-
that, yeah.
It felt
So-
like being a teenager at school when
Yeah.
you're like, we're going to arrange to have
Teaching
this
you how to kiss for television.
And I
Yeah.
was like, what if it's weird and what if our faces
Yeah.
don't go together properly? Or
Yeah,
But I went
and you have
back
to let your ego not get in the way of like, she's like, that doesn't look good on camera. And you're like, works every time for me at home.
Yeah. Because I was compare it to Love Island kisses. You know, Love Island kisses can look disgusting.
Oh, God.
And I'm sure it feels great.
Yeah.
But that doesn't look nice on
Yeah,
camera.
yeah,
so
yeah.
we've got to figure out how to make them pretty as well.
They need our lessons.
God,
that we
Yeah.
have.
It's
We'll
quite
go into the
hard.
villa and be like, guys, here you go.
I'll tell you what, it's quite funny watching it with your kids.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
Because I've got kind of grown-up kids, but my son's
Right.
17. That like slightly where you're going. I'll just go make some tea.
yeah.
During season 2, they said, you're up next. So we kind of had the year to like watch how everyone sort of navigates their way through that journey. Because it's like, it's a wild experience, isn't it? To go
It's
through
so
that.
intense. You don't have much of a life outside of it. Bridgerton is your whole
Yeah.
world when you're doing it.
How long does it take you to film?
8 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
About, give or take. And then
we
you've
do
got,
like 2 months prep, don't we, with like costumes?
I think I
maybe
did even more, yeah. And then 6 months of press, so it's been a big
That is a good
experience, yeah.
And when you're shooting it, have you ever had times when you've had to, like, you're doing a big scene and then something happens in the background that kind of totally blows up the whole period
Always.
look? I mean, is there something where, or someone's got a watch on, or is there? I mean,
A lot
because
of-
the detail is quite tummy.
I mean, it's usually like outside if we have like a sunny day and everyone's wearing sunglasses. And that's kind of a weird thing to experience if like 100 supporting artists are all wearing like modern like Ray-Ban
Yeah,
sunglasses
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And then you're like, we need to like reset because there's still 3 people wearing like cool sunnies. I think they experimented with sunglasses this
Yeah,
season.
because they did
was it?
have them in that era.
Yeah.
But they looked... Yeah, they did.
That is
I know,
They're
you
very
would
cool.
think.
They're like
We've
little
learned
thin
something
ones.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
apparently they looked I mean, it's an anachronistic show, but they looked a little too anachronistic, even though it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Colin could have won some at the start of the season.
For sure.
This little, like,
Yeah.
moment.
What's the most fun thing about playing Penelope? There must be so much.
I love the duality of the character, that she's this shy girl who's also really confident. But in this season, just getting to like do it all, we got to do rom-com, we got to do sexy, we got to do dramatic, we got to do dancing. You know, it's as an actor, you're just like, thank you for giving us all
Like
this.
if you're going to send your show reel to someone, just take this episode. It's got it all.
Yeah. How can we sell those final 4 episodes?
Well, we really dive into the Whistledown story. It's kind of been like, it's been there the whole time since season 1, and now it really comes to the surface. It's like the height of the drama of that.
Because she's engaged, so what's she going to do? You know that it's this big secret that she has to tell him, and it's awful. Because you're watching, what I love is in these next episodes, they're falling in love and they're in love. And we haven't got to see that too much in the show because, you know, there's been so much conflict, but the love of it is gorgeous. And then you go, oh no, the big secret. He doesn't know it and we know it and he doesn't know.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I know everyone's so excited about it. Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton.
I actually have something to thank you for.
Oh.
What?
Because I don't know if people know, but if you mention someone's name on television, you have to get their clearance. And I did a show called Big Mood. And we had a character who had an alleged affair with Jamie Theakston. And you okayed it, which made our lives so much better.
Hey, listen.
So on behalf of Big Mood, so Kate Fleetwood's character.
Yes, that's
said
right.
she had an alleged affair with you in the 90s and you signed off on it like a big old legend.
I was I was sent the script to approve whether or not that was acceptable.
Yeah, and you were the top choice because Camilla, who wrote the show, sent me a list last night and you were literally in highlight. Then she had, it was like, but after you, there was like Dane Bowers, there was all these people, but you were literally number 1.
In your face, Dan. Well, listen, it's been a real pleasure having you both on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.